Hey guys, this is Katie DeFantis from Inner Harmony Counseling, coming to you from my office in Brecksville, Ohio. So first I want to say that I'm sorry I've been completely MIA this beginning of the year. It's been a busy couple months, but I'm back blogging and I wanted to give this vlogging stuff a whirl. So here we go. So what I want to chat with you about today is something called the drama triangle. And this was developed by a guy named Stephen Karpman, and it describes interactions that are destructive, unhealthy between people in relationships. So you can Google this, you'll find tons of information, tons of images of the actual triangle. But today I want to show you and share with you a version of the triangle that one of my awesome clients created and shared with me. So here's what it looks like. You can see that each of the roles is in the corners of the triangle. We have the persecutor up here, the victim over here, rescuer over here, and that middle, that safety area, we're going to leave alone just for a second. And first, let's explain the corner roles. So, the persecutor. So this is a person you might know who blames others, who lashes out. Typically, someone in the persecuting role is trying to avoid being vulnerable. They actually don't want to be typically in that victim role in the other corner of the triangle, so therefore they make it external, lash out at others, those kinds of things, instead of letting it be internal. So the rescuer, this is the person who denies their own needs for the needs of others, is always, we'd probably describe them as somebody they feel like they're always a doormat. They are typically an enabler, always putting others' needs and things before themselves, not having healthy boundaries usually. And the victim is somebody who has a mentality of hopelessness, helplessness, powerlessness, that woe is me, poor me kind of attitude and view of life and of themselves. And also this is probably somebody that struggles with making decisions and solving problems and those kinds of things. So this is probably best explained with an example. So let's take a heterosexual couple, for example. So we'll have the wife in the victim role and the husband in the rescuer. So the wife, has that mentality of helplessness, hopelessness, poor me, those kinds of things, is always looking to her husband for help making decisions, solving problems. Now, mind you, of course, in all relationships, we all look to our partners to help us make decisions and solve problems and those kinds of things. But to really emphasize the victim role, this is the person that is always playing the martyr. Just can't do it, have to have somebody else's help. So the husband, on the other hand, is the rescuer. So he's the one that likes to swoop in and help and make everything better and never asks, always giving, never taking, those kinds of things. So what happens over time is, let's say that the wife continues to ask for help. I'm drowning in this. I'm totally overwhelmed. I'm having trouble, with work and home and balancing the kids and those kinds of things. And, I don't have anybody to help me. Just as an example. And in comes the husband, I've got this, let me take over this for you. I've got all of this. And let's say over time, perhaps the wife isn't giving appreciation to the husband for helping, or perhaps over time, as it happens with someone who's in the rescuing role, after a while they get really sick of rescuing, or it wears on them. So what might happen is the husband is rescuing, and after no appreciation, no thanks, and years of rescuing, he gets fed up and he moves himself up to the persecutor role and lashes out at the wife. You are asking for help all the time. You're always demanding things. I'm constantly helping. You're never appreciating me. You're ungrateful. So you see how we started out in the rescuer role and walked right up to the persecutor role at the top. Now, in another way to think about it, the victim, the mother or the wife. So she might be playing the victim, always asking for help, and perhaps the husband is not playing the rescuer role, and perhaps he's decided he's going to have good boundaries and he's not going to help as much as he did anymore, or he's going to point her in the direction of other resources in order for someone else to help. she in turn might walk herself up to over here. She might walk herself up to the persecutor role and start lashing out at him. You never help me. I reach out. You never come to my aid. You don't help me make decisions. You don't help me with this. You clearly don't love me. I'm not worth anything to you. Those kinds of things. So you can see how in a relationship like this, two people, there's a role always being played, and oftentimes people switch roles so that somebody's always playing one of those roles. It just depends on who's moving where. So here's the thing. That kind of pattern of relationship is exhausting emotionally, physically. It's destructive, it's unhealthy, like we talked about. So the only way to get out of the drama triangle, is to not play in it at all. And this is where the safety part comes in. So each of these roles, if you has to access the middle interior, that safe zone of the triangle. And here's how we do that. So if you're somebody that typically finds yourself playing the persecutor role, the persecutor's in the corner, and if we draw kind of a line into the safe zone, so the persecutor's in the corner, and in this interior in the safe zone is not someone who lashes out, but instead someone who first probably has good skills in managing, understanding their anger and managing their anger, and also somebody who understands how to be assertive without lashing out, without being physical or emotional and verbally destructive. So the persecutor needs to access the safe part of that interior of the triangle by being managing their anger and also understanding how to assert themselves and defend themselves appropriately. The rescuer side needs to come into the center of the triangle, and instead of being their rescuing self, they need to access what I call is their helpful self. So this is the self that doesn't feel depleted of energy when they're helping others. They're doing it out of the goodness of their heart. This person in the interior of the triangle has attunement and compassion for others, and can be helpful, but can also set good boundaries and make sure that they're also taking care of themselves, so that there's a healthy balance between their roles in managing their needs and other people's needs and being helpful. And the victim, the interior of the triangle for the victim is somebody who has more self-awareness. So an awareness of their emotions, of where things come from with them, why they go to the victim or the martyr role, that kind of stuff. And with more self-awareness, this person can start to understand how they use helplessness in order to get their needs met, and ultimately why that's not helpful in relationships. So, like I said, in order for this triangle to not be a thing, people need to not be playing, nobody can play into the corners of those triangles, and we all want to access that safety zone, the interior part of the triangle, so that we're not playing into the corners of the triangle. If you're in the corners, it's not going to be helpful. If you're staying in that safe zone, then we have a relationship where each person is asserting themselves and getting their needs met, while also helping others and being their helpful self, setting good boundaries, while also being self-aware of their own stuff. So here's the thing, like I tell my clients who I chat with about this drama triangle, now that I've explained it to you, you won't be able to unsee it. You're probably thinking of relationships now where this has been a thing, or instances in life where that's happened, and that's totally normal. Like I said, we all find ourselves in this triangle at one point or another, but it's about noticing it, recognizing it, understanding when it's happening, and then taking those steps to, again, access the interior, that safe zone of the triangle. So if you're interested in learning more about this, let me point you to a terrific website with great podcasts. So TherapistUncensored.com is a great resource. I listen to their podcast constantly. I'm constantly emailing my clients or telling them about a podcast that I listen to from them. They do great stuff, and they have a podcast on there that talks about the drama triangle. So I'll be sure to, like in the comments of this post, I'll be sure to copy and paste the link there, but you can also go to the website, TherapistUncensored.com, and do a search just for drama triangle. So it's a great podcast, and also there they have a if you scroll down in the website or episode website, you'll find a depiction of the triangle also that's super helpful. So I hope this has been helpful for you guys. Hopefully you can notice some of those things now in your own lives, and hopefully that'll lead to healthier and better fulfilling relationships for you. So until next time, hope you guys had a great time, and wishing you peace, joy, and inner harmony. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.